Hello, little buds. It's me, Monkey. Yes, I've changed names again. It's been a while, huh? Well, I tried this video twice before, so let's hope this gets done before art fight. I've been away for a while, and I've finally come out of hiding to give you guys a little update, or a really big one, to explain where I've been for the past 3 years. We'll start with what's going on with me and happening behind the scenes, then we'll talk about what's going on in the background. First, I graduated from high school in 2021. Have been debating about starting college so I can have a degree in business, just to have more knowledge in me noggin. Was originally supposed to be a gap year, but that got turned into a long break that is leading to me maybe making it a later thing in life, honestly. High school really fried my brain, and now it's so smooth. I got my first ever job in June of 2022 and had to lose it in July of 2023 due to my living situation at the time and other personal issues, plus the fact that my body was slowly deteriorating from stress and the workload. Skill issue, if you will. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, have some upgrades since we last talked, straight up have a PC and got a secondhand iPad from a nice gent on Facebook Marketplace. Unfortunately, I lost access to all of my old animation and art projects that I had on the old iPad, which caused me to have a rough patch on wanting to make anything for a bit there. In hindsight, I should have just made backups, but you learn the more you go through. Actually have a bigger desk and a new mic, so if the audio sounds different, that's why. Plus, I have more confidence in how I talk, so that's also nice. I have some work in progress animation memes, which are great. Just have all the bare bones on Flip-A-Clip so far, but things are looking great. I like to do rough animations in Flip-A-Clip, then shove that file in a Clip Studio because the audio is easier to see in Flip-A-Clip. My style has changed a lot since we've last seen each other, but it's something I'm proud of and plan to keep exploring. I started streaming on Twitch in April of 2020, then tried again in August of the same year. Though I really restarted in 2021 since I wanted to try it out once more with school releasing me from its clutches. Made myself a PNG tuber and in the middle of redoing my emotes since they are old as heck. I also started working on more designs and things for a sticker shop, which hopefully by the time this video goes up, everything is prepared for a second launch. I did a soft launch before this. I need experience, so... Now that personal things are out of the way, we could talk about what's going to happen with this channel. So some changes to the original plan of doing animation memes, animatics, speed paints, story times, and commentary-based videos will just be changed to speed paints, animatics, and animation memes. Maybe some story time sprinkled in if I feel like it, but those would probably revolve around my ex job since I do have stories from there, but don't want to go too much into talking about that era of my life. I'm leaning more towards the speed paint angle since I've been watching plenty of those from incredible people, and I really like the idea. Now, if only I could remember to turn on the recording filter I have on Clip Studio when I stream. The reason I dropped commentary videos is due to the fact that my memory isn't the best, and I don't trust my capabilities when it comes to things that are happening in real time. Now we finally start talking about what's going on in the background. For context, I decided the first thing I would draw as a comeback would be meant for art fight. You know, take it back to the basics. Since the first speed paint I did before I dropped off my YouTube channel was revolved around art fight. Keep in mind that this was originally a speed paint from 2023 art fight, and yeah, I've had to re-record this intro, I guess, because there was some updates and I had tried recording this video twice already. If you don't know about art fight, or if you do and want a refresher, art fight is a yearly competition that happens over the span of a month and has 2 teams that battle it out over art. The team with the most points at the end of the month is declared the winner. Now, if you're wondering how the points are tallied and how they all work, it's basically where someone from Team A makes a thing for a character on Team B. I say a thing due to the fact that most people do draw, but there are people who make 3D models, use arts and crafts, and even cosplay the characters as an attack, and each version is graded on different criteria. I'm part of the people who draw for attacks. And the person on Team B has the option to attack back, and they both have the option to go on a revenge chain. Of course, that depends on the person, and some people leave it at the first attack from Team A. This year, the themes are vampires versus werewolves, and yes, it's your classic Edward versus Jacob, and to no one's surprise, I picked werewolves. I joined because I got some friends on Team Wolf, and I thought it would be funny to join the pack. Now back to the art. When coming up with a design for Momo, that's the character's name, I messed around with general ideas that I wanted to do, like making her the basic hybrid I typically draw her as, aka the ears and tail idea, but I did want to mess around with giving her claws and paws this time, which I normally don't do because I DK had to draw them right. But I think they came out okay in the end. I will, however, need to eventually learn how to draw them because it's best to learn as much as you can. Little fun fact that I realized while drawing her was the fact that her design reminded me of Basil Wolf, who is a VTuber that I see every now and then on my TikTok For You page, and goes by the same username on other platforms. But I didn't make the connection till I was already laying the colors down. Nonetheless, I still like the end result, especially since I was doing a bit of experimenting during the rendering process. Mainly messed with how I color skin, if anything. When it came to drawing her nose, I always kind of struggle because I have to remind myself that I don't want it to be all small and round. I want it to be a little small and pointy, if anything. So I always struggle when it comes to that. I was trying a bit of a new thing where I wanted to add a little bit of a nose highlight on like where the nostril would come out from. I like how that ended up. Lining is typically one of the things that frustrates me when doing my whole art process, typically because I try making sure that all of my lines are perfectly how I want them to be and all that, and not overlapping too much so then they actually look good in the end. When I started sketching the pose, I struggled with the lower half because I knew what I wanted for the upper half. The whole arms up to show off her claws, and then her mouth open to show her teeth, because her teeth are normally drawn like bunny teeth, and it shows that she's giving a little warning even though she looks so non-threatening. I knew what I wanted for the lower half to at least be like a grass skirt type of thing, but I can't really render the color green most of the time, so that was a big struggle. You'll see once we get to the coloring process of the video, it happens a lot. I had the little idea of adding like foliage and stuff to her hair, essentially the leaves, sticks, rocks, and all that. I wanted to add more of the leaves, if anything, but I was running on limited amount of time to actually do this. I don't think I even posted it onto Twitter, or posted it anywhere, like the official drawing. I think I just did it on stream and then was like, yep, that's it, we gotta go, we gotta keep going so we can do the art fight attack. But yeah. This year, I only really did one attack, but it was one with like 10 characters in it with a scenic background since I really wanted to mess with backgrounds again. Last year, my entire focus was backgrounds mainly, and character interactions on my final attack. If I finish the speed paint and salvage what I can from the VOD, then that will most likely be the next video. But my original plan was to do some traditional attacks in my sketchbook and then do final attacks with at max 3 characters in digital format. Since at the time I was at my dad due to work demanding I needed to be closer, which resulted in me not having all the supplies and a desk that I could work comfortably at. I got as far as 2 sketches for some attacks and then gave up because of the fact that I wasn't comfortable drawing on the kitchen table. You know, normal artist anxiety. I'll take some pictures of them and show them on screen if I can get good lighting for them. But for the most part, I am relatively done with the art fight attack, and I really like how it came out as well. I did struggle a lot with certain things, but it looks good. I like it. I struggled a bit trying to remember how my art style is, mainly with the eyes, because when I have to simplify it, there's some details that get lost in translation to the simpler format. I have a ref somewhere else for the eyes, specifically so I could remember how it's rendered. Like I said earlier, I did a bit of experimenting when it comes to the rendering. It's more so on the skin, if anything. I wanted the coloring to appear more lively, and so I added like a purpley tint to it. You'll get to see that relatively soon. I really liked how that came out with like the purple tone to give like the pink shadows a bit more depth, I guess. Because normally when I typically just use like 2 colors for the skin and then I'm like, yep, that's it, let's go, next one. Next part of the rendering process, next color block that I gotta fill in. With certain colors, I just have a default canvas that I can choose from, so I don't have to sit there struggling with how the color's supposed to look. For example, in this drawing, I did gold, grays, and white, which is like an off-white, or the pure white highlight in the eyes stand out more. One thing I've really been exploring and expanding on a little bit is how I render eyes. With the lower eyelashes, I had decided I wanted to do a little something to emphasize the eyelid. I show it in a little bit, but that's probably a little bit later. Right now I'm struggling with the rendering of the skirt because the color green is one of the colors that I struggle with the most when it comes to rendering. Green is just typically not my favorite to do because of that. And I'm gonna leave you with the music for a little bit and the speed draw, and then come back near the end. One thing that tends to happen with me a lot is that the grays, I struggle with darker colors a lot, typically because I can't see them, and so that's why I don't go full white or full black when it comes to rendering colors. I like to make it warmer or cooler toned based off of just the color alone. And in the end, I typically add a filter to make the colors more cohesive. I'm not really sure what to add mainly when it comes to talking about my rendering process, because that's just how I do it. So I'm just gonna leave you with the music and the speed paint. When it comes to the background, I didn't do very much, mainly because I was running out of time to actually work on the piece, but I just wanted the background to essentially be how I normally would do when it's just the character and your main focus is just the character. So I just picked a color that went okay with her. I probably would have messed around a little bit more, probably shaped up the blob a little bit more to give it something, but like I said, I was running out of time and just wanted to get it done so I can get ready to fully put all my effort into the art fight attack. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to see the fully rendered illustration for your own viewing pleasure, I guess, the links and all that will be down below in the description. But yeah, anyways, I hope you liked the video. Comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can get notified for when I update again. And hopefully that's soon, but I'll see you all later, my little buds. Bye!